Hello, we're on the Marcus Allen Frishman live stream.
Yes, we are.
Me, Marcus Frishman Allen, and I'm not. How are you today? Tell me what's going on with you.
Well, I'm Marcus Allen Frishman, and none of you are. Welcome to my show. Archie, it's lovely to be here. Saturday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, Sunday in Australia. And we give wonderful
Christmas. Firstly, how was your Christmas?
Well, you know, I have a low-key Christmas. Usually I spend it alone at Dupar's. But Dupar's restaurant was closed. I've been doing that annually for years. So I spent it quietly at my humble new abode, a simple apartment that I've rented, my near beach apartment, moving from my property in Los Angeles to live near the beach in another county, a more rural community. It was cold. We have had a big storm here, Archie. I mean, when Californians, Southern Californians, get a storm, we hunker down. We call in sick to work. We don't drive generally in the rain. It stops a lot of people like me. And for 3 days, I'll tell you what I did. I ordered $87 of KFC chicken. Love KFC. And I brought it into the house, and it fed me 5 meals. 5 meals. And yesterday, as the rain was clearing, it was a constant storm, 24 hours, day after day after day of this horrible rain. It actually wasn't cold. It warmed up. And today it's freezing, clear skies. Freezing for me. It's high 70s in the day and gets down to low 50s at night. The sun has set and the weather is cold. So I took out my top coat to walk the dog. I have several beautiful top coats. Every gentleman should. And I walked the dog as though I was heading down Park Avenue, but instead I'm in a rural community in my near beach apartment, enjoying life.
And as we say this, the car is not in the garage. Is that correct?
Oh, the car is sadly not in the garage, but I'm telling you, I have ceramiced it. It has a coat of wax over the ceramic. I went to it today for the first time because I ran out of food, and I went to meet a friend for lunch. And I got to tell you, as soon as it had all these beads on it, beads of water. More bubbles than beads. And I got into the
nothing we can do to get it garaged? Is there absolutely
nothing? It's going to age gracefully in the sun, the wind, and hardly any rain, as you know. But it's holding up. And I bought for the first time my visor. You know, this visor, you can block the sun from coming in, so it won't have any sun damage in the inside. And the top, it's a convertible, but I had it, Scotch guarded. So even it was dry. When I went out there, the top was dry. It had beads of water on it. So it's in good shape, Archie. You know, a car's meant to be used, not babied. And soon I will be able to get it washed at a professional wash where they will take my food trash that I might have left on the floor and toss it out. I believe you have to use a car.
I honestly can't. I don't know what I must say to you, Marcus. I am incredibly disappointed.
I know. It's almost
you don't even have a carport. You know, just like a roof over it would drastically help. But
well, it's not to be in this community. This is a new community. All the homes and townhomes and apartments were built less than 2 years ago, opened, that is, to the public for rental or ownership. And they did not do carports.
Oh my God, that's so nasty. You know that?
Yeah, it is. But look, the car has been a garaged car. I've never actually lived in a residence without a garage. My beautiful home, 12 rooms, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, in a lovely gated community in the northwestern outreaches of Los Angeles city and county, will be soon rented out And as I told you, I had a goal of 0 work income. That's going to provide me a nice hefty monthly allocation from the rental. The rental market is crazy in LA. And unlike New York, that still has high rentals but can't find customers, there are lining up in my neighborhood. Literally, the brokers told me they have waiting lists. So the moment it's ready, it will be rented. I have furniture to put into the what do you call it? A consignment house. I have to have it painted. I have to replace a little bit of the carpet. Mr. Bueller wore out by our playing catch on the steps. And but Archie, you know what's more important than all of that?
What's that, sir?
I went to my cologne supply today, realized I was running low on what is the finest smelling cologne mixture ever created at any price point. And if you remember it, it's here. It is called Polo Montogram. They used to have a whole line of Montogram shirts and suits. Montogram was a line. This is called the Polo Montogram, Ralph Lauren. And you can still get it for under $200. It's around. And there's some fakes that I've had eBay credit me on. But this is on authentic. It's running low. And it is sublime. I don't know if you've ever had the opportunity to put it on your body. It's musty. It's a bit pungent. It is strong. 2 squirts all day, they will smell you. And I think it's fabulous. Available online. It's been discontinued in 1991. I called the offices of Ralph Lauren. When I was in New York, I had gotten the number of the corporate offices. I got the vice president of fragrances on, and they had the formula. And he said, this was 1991, 92. He said to me, we don't think we're going to use it again. Who knows why? It's not that it wasn't popular. These fine houses of fashion discontinue sometimes the most popular items.
You were a Ralph Lauren model, weren't you?
I was a Ralph Lauren. In the days I wouldn't wear anything but Ralph Lauren, except for the underwear and socks that I never really bought in volume. And I did a Ralph Lauren shoot, which I don't have handy to show you, but I think it's a matter of record here. We've shown it. I was a model for 2 years, but I never was published. In other words, the way these shoots worked, I was a commercial fashion model. So I would show up, so would 6, 8, or 10 other guys. They would shoot us. And then I'd call back because I wanted to add the published picture to my portfolio. We had a portfolio, which I've shown you here as well. And I never could. Only one in 2 years. And I think my income was in the 60,000s, 68,000, 60, almost 70,000. One photo was the only photo ever published. So I have that. But so my entire portfolio was fake. Well, fake. I mean, self-created pictures of me because I got paid for the shoot, $1,000 a day, $500 a half day, but I could never they never picked me. I did one what's called ramp modeling, but I was too skinny and small generally to do ramp modeling. You had to be 6'2", I'm 5'10" and a half. You had to be 42 jacketed, and I was always a 38. And you had to be a bigger guy. But one designer who, I forget, it was a low-level B-rated designer who liked me, and he allowed me to do ramp modeling in his show at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel. That was years ago. I can't even remember what I wore, but I was only good for suits and formal wear because I was always too skinny to do sportswear. So that is my story. But this cologne.
If you keep eating the KFC, you won't be skinny to do sportswear anymore.
No, but now I do Man of Leisure wear if they would hire me. But there's maybe Leisure World. You know what Leisure World is? Old people
ageism. What do you think of ageism?
Well, I have never experienced ageism usually you experience it in the realm of your work. But I'm speechless because I've not experienced it. I know of it. I've read about it. I don't see it existing in reality. At least it doesn't exist in California. Look, I have to say California, not the United States, because we're the fourth largest economy of the world. We are more like a country. We don't experience the golden age of Trump like the rest of the country does. $2 gas. We're experiencing $6 gas. You know, I can go with all the categories because of that, but that's a tangent we won't go down. But California is a uniquely isolated place, and we don't experience ageism here. We don't have that problem. I think you might. You certainly do in Asia.
Got a super chat. Black Cat 9972 bucks. I remember Dracanoia. JK wore it as a 13-year. I remember a friend of mine.
Oh, I think
when I was at university, Mark, he gave me a bottle of Dracanoia. Yes, I remember that very
Archie,
well.
is he spelling it correctly? Because I know that cologne by name, but not by its visual spelling. It doesn't seem right. I know it. It's wonderful.
Yes.
How about Aramis Devon? Well, you know, the best is Caros, and you can still get Caros anywhere at any store. I use Caros as my go-to. Caros by
Drakkar. Drakkar. It's he spelled it correctly.
Okay.
It had the black bottle. The black bottle. Remember that?
I remember. Oh, this smells so good. And you know, a gentleman who is not narcissistic, but has confidence, and there's a difference, as I like to explain in a previous video, wears this when he sleeps alone in bed. You spray your cologne so you can smell yourself. Fabulous. That's true. That's what I do. I don't wear cologne to impress anyone. Although the most popular, when I'm on an elevator, it's always on an elevator. You're in confined spots, and somebody will always compliment me with my Caros. It's a heavy scent, kind of powdery, musty. I love strong florally. I like strong floral scents. But this, you've got to get your hold of one, Archie. You just got to spring for it and just be. It only requires a couple of sprays, and I really overdo cologne, but never this. And not because it's expensive now as an antique cologne, because it's strong and powerful. Montagram by Ralph Lauren. You'll see it on eBay. It's there. You know, there's so many wonderful colognes. It's so wonderful to smell a good cologne. I've always liked Oscar de la Renta for ladies. The general, I think it's just called Oscar for ladies. It's my favorite. It's an old woman's cologne, but I like it. It's very floral. I think there's a cologne called Red. Who does that? A famous designer. Could that be Yves Saint Laurent? Red for ladies? It is fabulous. I can't remember who does Red.
Yes.
Archie, what do you think your favorite cologne is?
Oh, look, I would have to say, you know, I loved my signature cologne as a youngster. Was an Yves Saint Laurent, Yves YSL Jazz. I love Jazz.
I remember Jazz. It was quite good. That's the cologne of the 80s.
Yes. And then the other one I liked was Kuros. You know, the white container Kuros.
I have it in the other room. It's $40 and it's still produced. They make it
cheap. Actually, it's very cheap now.
Yeah.
And then I also loved Opium.
With the round bottle with the brown lid and the golden liquid. Yes. Yeah. How about Giorgio? Giorgio was a store on Beverly Hills, and for some reason they still make cologne. I don't know the details of it. It's quite good. My dad used to wear it. I just ran out of Giorgio.
I also used to love some of the Dunhill fragrances. Dunhill did fragrances.
Those are expensive.
Sorry?
Those are expensive. Dunhill.
Not now. No, the discount pharmacy sells them. They're cheap as.
Really? Oh, you mean the old Dunhills, not the current model.
Dunhill fragrances.
Yeah, I know Dunhill, but the current Dunhills are not cheap. Is this an older version?
Oh, I didn't know I thought they were quite reasonable, Dunhill. But Dunhill's closed most of their the boutiques down. They don't have many.
Well, I'm seeing Dunhill. Here they are, Dunhill. They are quite reasonable. The clothing and the glasses aren't. And certainly they're famous for their, well, you know what happened.
Chat, Plonker, £2, Old Spice, can't go wrong.
Oh, Old Spice. You know, I use Old Spice as a room scent along with something called Tea Rose. It's a lady's cologne, and I spray it around the house.
You remember Jupe? Do you ever remember Jupe?
I have 2 Jupes. Right now, I have traditional Jupe. I'm sure it has a sub name to it. It's red. And I have the newer version of Jupe, and it's a more brownish, goldish, a little stronger. I wear it regularly. I was just going to tell you, Jupe, you can get at any department store, the basic Jupe, and or any drugstore. I get it on Amazon. It's fabulous. It's very strong. It's very cherry-like. It's very, at least the one that's red is actually cherry.
Yes, that's the red, and that they got the green one as well.
I have not had the green, but I do have in the other room the brown one and the cherry one. It is so good. It is overwhelming. You have to be careful with that, because that scent, if you overdo it, it changes its notes. It changes its, I can't describe what I mean, but intensity changes its flavor. So you want to be light with that, and it's still heavy.
Yes.
You know, there's the Tom Ford does a line of colognes that are astronomical. They're $400 colognes. They say,
you know, the very expensive one now is a brand called Creed. Have you seen Creed?
Creed, yes. I've never owned Creed.
It's fucking ridiculous. Like $400 or $500. That's just absurd, isn't it? Or not?
It's absolutely. I think no one should buy a cologne for that price point. Now, you know, I've had a feeling about that, and I've had unlimited budgets in my life, and I've been a cologne lover, and I'm going to tell you, there are certain designers that are scam artists. And I believe Creed, essentially, when you're a greedy scam with profit margins that exceed, I don't want to sound like a socialist here, but a profit margins that exceed normal levels, you're a scammer. And I'm going to tell you who used to do this. There is a famous store, it's still there. It's called Bajan. It's on Rodeo Drive. It has a brick and mortar.
Yes, that's the yellow, isn't it?
The yellow
Rolls Royce.
He always updates the Rolls Royce with a newer one. He parks it outside his store, and he keeps putting money in the meter. It's a metered spot, and the Beverly Hills police don't seem to care, and they let him get away with it because he's Bajan. He would put pictures, and I'm sure they're all over New York City, but they're all over Los Angeles as well. Big, giant billboards, and he's standing there holding his cologne, and he's laughing, with his mouth open. It's a laugh shot. And I look at that, and I used to say to myself, the guy is laughing at his customers. Now, I went into this. I'm a regular on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. There's plenty of stories.
His store is ridiculously priced, isn't it?
I went in years ago, more than 10 years. Now, I pass it all the time. You can get in there without an appointment if you look right and they're not busy. And normally you need an appointment. And I did get in without an appointment. I was dressed appropriately, and I walked in. I was probably wearing a Brooks Brothers suit, which they would view as very low end, but it was the custom level Brooks Brother. And
Brooks Brothers suits. That's classic Wall Street.
Yeah, you can. I buy them now at the outlet, and I have to take them to the real store to get them tailored. And the same one on the low end, their suits are about $800 or $900. But at the outlet, it's the same exact suit. I know, because I see it in the store for $800 and $900, getting it tailored. You can't get it tailored at the outlet. I go to the outlet and I get it. Now it's $399, $499. In the old days, $199. Same suit that was between $500 and $1,000, unless you go to their custom line, which I don't do anymore. But anyway, so I'm walking in the Bijan store, and they sell wardrobes, and they have big armoires. This is how they market things. So you walk into the store. It's very different than any store. It's a very tiny room. It's one room. It's 2 rooms, and they have these armoires: the sport armoire, the formal armoire, the weekend retreat armoire, and they're cabinets and drawers. And you open up the cabinet, very much, oh, that's not an armoire next to me, but very much like my armoire in the other room you can't see. You open it up, and you view what's hanging, and then everything from top coats to jackets to shirts to suits to casual wear. And then you look in the drawers, and there's shorts and socks and ties and belts, and it's a wardrobe, a full wardrobe in each genre, each theme. I will tell you a couple of the prices. The socks are $90. They're white. They're the simple socks. Now, you can get into much more expensive socks there. I'm just talking about the simple socks. If you want a simple dress shirt, now this is 10 years ago, the simple white dress shirt, $500. Okay. Now, you don't even want to, I didn't ask what the price of the suit was. It's one of those things, if you can't afford it, you shouldn't ask. Anyway, but I did get the price on the socks and the white shirt, just to get a sampling. I strolled out as quickly as I strolled in, and I think it's a scam. I think Bijan. Also, I didn't care for the style. It's a bit too Italian for me. I'm more traditional. But what an operation he runs, Bijan. He's still there. The store's still there. I don't know how much.
Does it make any money?
Oh, he must be making a bloody fortune. His rent there has to be over about $150,000 a month just for that.
You know, most of those stores in Rodeo Drive, they're there for presents. They don't actually make money. Did you know that?
I'm aware of that, because they have a worldwide opportunity to sell in many outlets. And under American tax law, certain losses just negate taxes. So if you owe taxes, that's why very wealthy corporations, I happen to be a tax expert, wealthy corporations in America and wealthy individuals in America, rightly so is a reason, that's a long explanation, but rightly so don't pay taxes. There's a reason for it. And it's a good public policy, and it helps the average American that the wealthy don't pay. When I say the wealthy, let's be clear. Businessmen who make money and corporations who make money large ones don't pay taxes in America. Certainly individuals that earn money from those corporations have to pay substantial taxes. But anyway, so that's how we run our tax system. But yeah, he I don't know if he actually makes money or not, but as a general rule, you're right. Most of those stores don't, but they operate it as a loss, but it's okay. The companies are making big money, as you know. Those lines of clothing, the lines of cologne, are making a lot of money. And all the watch stores are there on Rodeo Drive. In Palm Beach, where I held a residence via my family for 11 years and spent about a year there. It's called Worth Avenue, and they have lots of watch stores. One was, you'll know, called Tourneau. It's a massive store. It's gone. I think Tourneau is gone now as a retailer. The last watch I bought at Tourneau was my Omega medium-sized railroad watch, which is called the Railmaster. And I bought that at Tourneau, in the Tourneau in Woodland Hills, in a giant mall in the San Fernando Valley. They even had one there. I've been to the Cherno store on Worth Avenue. I had them service my Tiffany watch, and I'm trying to remember. And I bought a illegal you know, in California, the People's Republic of California, you can't have crocodile or alligator, and I bought one or the other, and you know, kind of hid it in my luggage and brought it back to California, and I wasn't arrested.
I see.
I'm wearing today one of the most sought after watches in the world if it was stainless steel, because people that are not of means couldn't ever buy their own gold version. But this is the blue face.
Yes.
Submariner
that
with
looks
date.
fantastic on your wrist there, Marcus.
I love this watch, and I know you do. It is probably my favorite watch.
No, that looks. By the way, I'm wearing my gold Breguet today. One of my gold Breguets.
Oh, it's a beautiful big watch, right? It's a beautiful watch. We don't talk watches much. You know, I have a world-class watch collection, which I wish I could tell you some things about it, but I cannot for security reasons. There's some funny stuff going on with it. But being where I'm at, but I do have a few watches that I wear now out. You know, I have the rest in a vault somewhere. I have to go get them.
I've got another super chat. Black Cat 997, $5. The girls love Drakkar Neue, but they didn't get me. But that didn't get me anywhere. Today, I like various Guralands, and some old school Dior and Chanel. Oh, Chanel Blue is wonderful. Chanel Blue makes some amazing fragrances. Right. Chanel Blue. I must confess, to me, I don't understand. You know. Let me say this to you, Marcus. You know, in the 80s, BMW and Mercedes were a very high level, right? Nowadays, you had all these supercars above them. You know, like you got Ferrari, Lamborghini. See, in my day, they were exotics. You never saw a Ferrari, right? You really? Never, ever, very rarely.
But well, in Los Angeles, you see them everywhere.
But what I'm saying is, they've become, with same things happen with the fragrances. Yves Saint Laurent, YSL, that used to be super expensive. Now, that's lower tier because you've got Creed and you've got these custom fragrances, which is ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Ridiculous. You don't have to spend a lot of money to get fine luxury items. You really don't. I know, Archie, you might disagree with me in the watch genre, but there are, so we can't call certain fine watches, certain excellent watches, visually and mechanically excellent. We can't call them luxury watches because luxury watches are all about the snob appeal, about the name brand. But there are so many independent watches that can far surpass or equal the luxury brands at a far lesser price. And there are so many sub-luxury brands that are perfectly wonderful. And there's so many that are overrated. Maybe you would disagree, but Tag Heuer, I think, is the most overrated brand in the world. I don't know what's with them.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Make some beautiful watches, but I'm talking about price point for what you get.
You have that beautiful, you have that Submariner in gold would have to be the most beautiful watch. I don't think you need anything more, to be honest with you.
You had to have,
and you've got the gold Cartier as well. You've got the moon phase Cartier as well.
Right. I think a man should have 3 watches if that's all he can have. He should have a watch like this, a gold one. You've got to have an 18-karat gold watch if you can ever muster it up, and this is the one to have. There are other brands, maybe 3 or 4 others that are equally important to have, but you need a watch on a leather strap, a simple dress watch. You really should, that you can wear beautifully with a tuxedo. And you might say, well, the gold Cartier, but I'm thinking of something more contemporary that looks old, like my Railmaster from Omega. And Omega makes a beautiful clasp on their bracelets, on their leather straps. And then
tell me this: you went to Beyond, and what did you just left? Did you buy anything, or you left?
I bought nothing. I mean, I was there to, as always, they have a polo store down the street, and I would buy things there. There was a good 15, almost 20 years of my life where if it didn't have a little horse on it, I wouldn't buy it. I mean, I just wouldn't. I owned no shirts, nothing that wasn't Ralph Lauren except socks, underwear, and suits. I had a couple of Ralph Lauren blazers, but I never bought their suit line. I preferred Brooks Brothers because I liked very traditional pinstripes.
Pinstripes. Did you like double-breasted suits or single-breasted?
One double-breasted in my life, and I don't know why I ever bought it. It was a Brooks Brothers. It was a blue pinstripe. Now, I still have a bunch of suits, but I prefer pinstripes. I prefer some sort of striping. Even
double-breasted's gone out of fashion now.
It was never good, Archie. The thing about it, let me tell you the problem with a double-breasted suit that I learned the first day I bought one and chose not to return it after it was tailored, is when a gentleman sits down at a dinner party in a suit, in any chair, he should never unbutton his jacket. His jacket should
unbutton it. He should.
No, Archie, you have to keep your jacket buttoned. You should never, Donald Trump, have you noticed him? Just to mention him, he walks around with an unbuttoned jacket constantly. I don't know what that's about. Your jacket should be buttoned, and there is a way of buttoning it. You can't do that at all with a double-breasted. If you leave that jacket buttoned, when you sit down, it gathers up, it bulks up. It's terrible. You can't even sometimes physically do it if it's a snug fit, a snug tailoring. So you can keep your jacket, the top button buttoned in a chair, and it looks proper. Otherwise, your belly hangs out if you have a belly to hang out, or your tie that you no doubt have lopsided weight on one side or the other. It just flaps around. No, you should keep it. At least I do. I keep my jacket buttoned. You can unbutton it when you're in the car. You can, that sort. If you take it off, I rarely take off my jacket when I'm wearing it. Also, I was big on three-piece suits for years.
Three-piece.
Vests are coming back. They've been coming back for years at some level in suits now. But I loved vests. I actually don't and haven't worn a vest in about 10 years. All my suits that I've bought in the last 10 years don't have vests, except for the tuxedo. Tuxedo should always have a vest. But the cummerbunds are not my style. Do we even know what cummerbunds are? Does anybody know?
No. What are cummerbunds?
Oh, come on, Archie. You know what a cummerbund is, don't you? Archie, we're looking it up, right? But I know what it is.
Oh, yes.
Come on,
I have that. I have a cummerbund. Yes, that's with the tuxedo.
Of course you do, but you don't do
that's because you don't have a tie. It actually links the because the thing is too, when you wear a tuxedo, it's not a normal shirt. It needs to be that pleated type of shirt.
Yes, and often on a tuxedo, you will in fact unbutton your shirt for other reasons. But cummerbunds are fabulous. You can do so much with them as opposed to the simple black cummerbund. But when you wear a vest with a tuxedo, and I believe the best vest with a tuxedo would be velour, velvet, whatever they want to call it, that texture. You won't wear a
cummerbund with a vest.
No, you cannot. You don't wear a cummerbund with a vest. So I gave up cummerbunds by college, and I went to vests. You can still do either. Men do either. Also, if you have a theme, let's say you have a Scottish theme or something like that, because people like to have their colors, their family colors. You can do a cummerbund in your colors, whatever that is, and that way you can express it contrary to the style of the tuxedo itself. Cummerbunds will, sometimes they match the tie, sometimes they don't. They're fabulous. They're a thing. I would prefer a vest. My tuxedo has a vest. So, and the pleated shirt, we went from, I also prefer pleated shirts now rather than the ruffled versions. I think ruffles went out. Is that what they were called? Ruffled shirts? Yeah. I think they went out 2 decades ago.
Oh, I see. Gee, that's a bit, you think so?
Ruffled shirts? Yeah. Ruffled shirts. Ruffled. Oh, I wrote ruffled. I'm getting potato chips.
Yes. Yes.
You have to be careful. The first search on things tend to bring up the wrong item. Yeah, there they are. These ruffled. I'm looking at it. Yeah, a lot of women are. All right, so I typed it in, and I'm getting all of them are women ruffled shirt, but for one. Yeah, no ruffled shirts for me, thank you. But I wore a ruffled shirt to my middle school graduation with a tuxedo. I wore it to I didn't attend my high school graduation. I wore it to one of my college graduations, ruffled, in a tuxedo. And but I, as you know,
yes, muscled. Liberace loved ruffled shirts, didn't he?
Oh, yes, he did, and I loved Liberace. The thing about Liberace goes to so many great personality characteristics that I have promoted. I have always said, I have a video on this. It's my most viewed video. It is be bold and be outrageous in your dress and in your demeanor so that you will be successful. And that's how you can be successful. And that's how he was, Archie. He was just amazingly successful because of his style. It almost was like listening to him play was less important than being bold. I'm looking up on my Facebook now, on my publicly posted Facebook, where I did a video, which I don't think, let me just see this for a second. I don't want to disturb our line, but I want to.
Very interesting. We got a super chat from Yankee Doodle, and he says, Math, do you like cuffs on your suit pants? Yes.
Yes.
They collect all the dust, but they collect all the dust in there.
Oh, the fuzzies, but you can get those out. And the cuffs are, I have never had a suit without cuffs. And in fact, when I buy a pair of pants that's not tailored, I buy khakis. I like the same thing. I don't have a lot of different things. I have 9 or 10 or 11 khaki colored pants. They are all cuffed, and they came uncuffed, and I ordered them cuffed. I love cuffs. I mean, there were shorts I used to have with cuffs. That's hard to find now. And I don't want to break, the tailored angle of the angle of the, the low on the back end by the heel. No. I don't like that. Although I don't like the current style much where it's narrowed down and above the sock level. But I do want a clean, non-break pant that won't break at the, a little higher than most, but lower than the current fashion standards. And I have a lot of fashion things. I like to always wear a white t-shirt. I always wear a white t-shirt. And I have trademark white socks that I wear with everything I wear except suits. No matter what I'm color, no matter what I'm dressed in, even a blazer and a tie, I wear white socks and penny loafers, unless I'm in a suit, when I wear matching dress socks, as we call them, with a more dressy lace-up pair of shoes that I wouldn't wear penny loafers with a suit. I put pennies in my penny loafers.
I must say, Math, fragrances, what the fuck has happened? How can they get away with charging $500 for a fragrance like Creed and that? What is the fucking story? Can you tell me?
I did a deep dive on it. It's young people that are buying it, oddly enough, not a bunch of old men. And with some exceptions to every rule of analytics, right? But yeah, young people are buying all that shit, and not wealthy people are buying it. A lot of club going, younger, unemployed, low income people are buying it. Look, when I was back in high school and college, and I was encountering, for reasons I won't bore you with, poor communities in Los Angeles. There was a reason why I was out there. I worked for the LA City Council, and I had to go out to Eagle Rock and Highland Park. And in those days, those were poor communities. And you would see those people, students, young people, 20-somethings, teenagers, buying and spending over $100 way back then on a pair of pants, jeans, designer jeans. So they rip. Who they're stealing the money from is not the rich people. They're stealing money from people who can hardly afford to buy such luxury, and I think that's terrible, Archie. I think, and that's who they market to. It's just terrible, and that's what the jean manufacturers used to do when you had to have designer jeans. Now, designer jeans are not a real thing. People want more natural, and they have for years, more casual, less expensive non-designer jeans. That's what I'm finding is in the fashion with young people. Young people tend to, drive fashion. For instance, here's another thing. I have cufflinks, and when you're in a tuxedo, you wear cufflinks. But I would never have French cuffs, which are called French cuffs with cufflinks, wearing a suit. Now, many men do it. And I know a lot of older men who do that. I have had several bosses that have done that, and I have never done it. I just don't think, for me personally, it looks good on a suit. Cufflink. I'd rather have a simple cuff. It's just overdoing a suit, I think. But it's an absolute necessity in a tuxedo.
Even if you say that you don't like cufflinks,
not in a simple suit. Men do it. I see it all the time.
What do you think of French cuffs on a shirt?
No, the problem with here. Okay, this is just a personal experience. I'm not saying it's wrong universally. There are certain things that are universally wrong. This is a matter of taste. I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm not saying it's wrong. And we have another super chat, but I'll finish this point, which is these French cuffs bulge out with the suit. They don't fit well. And if you're a working man, when I say a working man, a man at a desk, if you're an executive, it is terribly awkward and uncomfortable to work a desk with papers and writing and typing and data entry, whatever you're doing with French cuffs. It's just not practical. And they get dirty and terrible, and all that starch that you have to put in them to make them work wears out it's just terrible. I think they're terrible.
Black Cat 997, $10. I really dislike this disgusting shit, but in the conservative movement in America, this conspiracy theory and suddenly anti-Semitic groups have come up online. How do the rest of us oppose them?
Well, I kind of don't understand his conservative movement connection to this, but I have a lot of opinions on this, obviously. First of all, here's the problem with these idiots that he's talking about, I think. Although I don't understand but the conservative movement in America, this conspiracy theory, I don't understand that part of what you're saying. But with regard to anti-Semitic groups and how do the rest of us oppose them, I want to say something to this. First of all, I'm in America, and America, hate speech is legal. It is not legal in many countries. In fact, you can get jailed by saying things that are defamatory or insulting to people in the Philippines. It's called unjust vexation, and it doesn't matter what your intents are. As an example, if they took it badly, whatever you said, even if it wasn't hate, it's a jailable offense. And that's how many countries around the world at different levels view. I know England has a hate speech rule against it. I don't know about Australia. Maybe Archie will tell us. But in America, hate speech is absolutely protected. You can get a permit, you can be protected by the police, and you can run around the streets in a parade and have hate speech. You can have individual hate speech. You can do anything. And the only thing that has changed in all of the 200 years of hate speech being allowed in America, due to the constitutional protections, no law can restrict it. No law, no city, state, or federal congressional law or presidential executive order or presidential signed law can overrule the right of hate speech. So we must protect it, and there's reasons for that. The Supreme Court has said so, and that's the final answer on that, and it's been resolved decades ago. However, the problem with these idiots is they hate Israel. Israel, most people in Israel are Jewish, not all. Israelis are Muslims, Israelis are Arabs, and they're very happy there. If you have ever talked with Israeli and Muslim Arabs, Muslim Israelis. So these people hate Israel, and they think Jews in America support Israel or have some connection. Jews, most of them have never been to Israel, don't know anything about Israel, and it's a different thing. That's a country versus a religion. So first of all, they're misplacing their hate. They hate Jews, but they mean to hate, they really do. They mean to hate Israel. Now, if we get to the few that hate Jews for being Jewish, this other group, well, they're just narrow-minded bigots. And sadly, we have to protect their right to hate Jews. Because it's how our country rolls. Free speech.
You are Jewish yourself, aren't you?
I am Jewish, and I was president of Hillel, and I got kicked out of being president of a Jewish group because I wrote an article that was published on the protection of the Nazis' right to protest. And there's a lot of reasons why you would want to go out of your way to support this. You'd want to, and I'll tell you mine. One, if they're in public, they can be infiltrated by law enforcement. They're evil. They need to be infiltrated. We don't want them going underground. The second point is if we say no to I use the Nazis as an example. There's a handful of them in the country. If you say no to the right to Nazis or other hateful groups to be able to speak out in public and be protected by the police with proper permitting, as in protests or however they do it, if you restrict that, think about the concept of who makes that decision, and could one day some municipality restrict the Jews, restrict Christians? Sure. So you don't want anyone restricted. After 9/11, there was a massive change of laws in America that added some restrictions to speech. I'll tell you what they are. I don't know how they survive the constitutional reviews, but they did. But they are very, very narrow, and they're almost never enforced. So you have a lack of enforcement issue anyway, because they can be challenged, and then they'll lose that. But it keeps people in line. You cannot threaten, hate speech is threats. You can't threaten federal officials. If you verbally, in the old days, you could verbally threaten anyone. You still can. You can threaten them. And until you do something, you have not committed a crime in America. That's the rule of law. There are some exceptions, and that is federal officials, FBI, congressional elected officials, and federal officials. I don't know that we have any state protections per se, but that's individual states. So yeah, we are very free speeched here. And I'm a strong believer in free speech. It's a great thing about America. So just let them hate you. Get over it. And move on. And there are only two kinds of people in the world: the good and the evil, the good and the bad, regardless of the color of their skin, which I've never focused on. We spend far too much time in America focusing on people's ethnic background. I don't know what that's about. I've lived in Los Angeles all my life, so I don't think, when I think of a person who might be of a certain ethnic background, I don't think of that ethnic background. I never talk about a person who's of color or of, nowadays I'm compelled to do it sometimes in the context of things because we're so focused on race, but it's ridiculous. I don't think there's any reason to single out a race or a religion.
Yeah.
Even if you don't look, there's some components of the Muslim religion that are evil. This is in their books. And, it is what it is, but you don't, you can respect that good Muslims for not observing those components.
Yeah, no, I see exactly what, thank you for answering that. We've got another super chat here. John Cussy, $2. I'm in this group of people you talk of.
Oh, which group? Which, you mean, Archie, is he talking about the people that hate Israel but don't hate the Jews, or they're confused? We had several groups. I wish he would. He'll send a non-tipped explanation in chat so I can respond.
Here we go. Yankee Doodle, $5. Arch, what's the average Aussie's feeling about what happened at Bondi Beach? That's the Bondi Beach is where they had a terrible massacre. 15 innocent people were gunned down. Look, it's just terrible. I'll be honest with you, I don't see the government has done anything wrong. I think I think the government's okay in Australia. The silly thing is, I saw a post on Facebook where it was actually a JD Vance post. He said, in America, with gun laws the way they are, those gunmen would have been shot because people have arms, right?
Yeah, there are people that will.
But then someone else put a comment. Yeah, but that's the first mass shooting in Australia in 30 years. The previous one was Port Arthur. America, you have mass shootings every fucking month. Every second month you have mass shootings. And
we don't have mass shootings, Archie, because we have right to bear arms. We have, which at an arm's length is a
I
good
got to be
loaded.
honest with you. I think it's very sad. Yankee Doodle, it's really sad. It's sad. I mean, Australia. I don't think, honestly, people are blaming, they're politicizing it, but I think it's just madness.
Yes, I would say the same thing. I think we have a mental illness crisis in America. We have a massive drug crisis in America. And we have inbred terrorists here, domestic terrorists at a level like you haven't seen. And remember, we have 360 million people in America. So, Archie, I think they're nuts. That's what it's about. Mental health.
Be honest with you, it's very, very sad. I think there's no other way to put it. It is really sad. It is sad because it's I think Australia's lost it's lost an innocent charm that we had there. It's really, how does anyone think of it? Absolute horrible. Yeah. And I honestly, I don't think anti-Semitism is rampant here. There's always some lunatic fringes.
Yeah, it's not rampant in America. But I have never experienced anti-Semitism. I have never seen anti-Semitism. I live in what would be they say it's the second largest city in the country. That's a bunch of crap. New York has 8 million people. LA County has 16 million people. The adjacent counties, it adds up to about 30 million people. I'm going to tell you, I've never and I get around, I'm in politics, I go to meetings, I go to people, I see people. I've seen more people than the average American on a weekly basis for decades. I have never seen or experienced directly or indirectly any anti-Semitism in my life. And nor have I seen racism. I have not seen it. Now, I went to high school with, I'll mention this, I went to high school with one black student, Agoura High School in the area of Calabasas, California. It's Los Angeles area. And Sarah Vaughan's daughter. Apparently she's a singer. That's all I can remember. And we're not racially mixed, but most of Los Angeles schools are. And we don't have, it's because of who we are in California and Los Angeles. I think certain parts of our country don't mix with other races and don't understand this and become racist by their nature. I don't know what that's about. Archie, I have a question. Your country in Australia, yes. I watch a show. I watch a show that's based out of Australia, 2 shows. I'll tell you about them both, but one's relevant now in our discussion. It's that border security show. And I love it. You run a tight ship in Australia. You know, we don't do any of that stuff.
A bunch of assholes. Border control is a bunch of assholes. Yes.
Oh, I love them. You know, we have rules like you, but we can't possibly enforce them at our airports like that. And you do, and you keep a tight ship. You send all these people back. If they appear, maybe someday they might maybe look for work in an independent way. You know, I mean, I am impressed, and I know Donald Trump is too. So you don't have the problem we have. We have 12 to 20 million, it's hard to say how many, people that shouldn't be here, that have no legal authority to enter or exist or eat food here, and they're here. And we have sanctuary cities giving them medical care when we don't give that to our poor people and our seniors or our ex-military people. But in LA, you can get $3,700 a month for rent if you are an illegal alien. That is not an opinion. That's an empirical fact. You can't get it if you're poor. You can't get anything like that. And you can't get it if you're a homeless veteran. You don't qualify. You have to be illegal. And then they will get you a license. They will provide you with an ID, a non-social security number. Then they will get you a job and they will give you money. And it's just how it is in a sanctuary city. It's called sanctuary. Donald Trump's putting an end to that because soon he might start arresting these mayors and city councilmen and police chiefs who provide protection to illegal immigrants. God bless them. They should work and live somewhere else unless they're legally admitted. We're a country of immigrants, but they came legally. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I know exactly what you're saying there. It's what's the other show you watched? So the border control.
The other show, I was thinking about you last night, and I wanted to tell you about this show. It's completely off topic, but it is the most refreshing show. I discovered it 3 years ago. It came out in 2017. It has 3 seasons, and it's called 800 Words. It emanates out of Australia. It is about a man who his wife died, and he takes his 2 kids to live permanently in New Zealand, and he meets a cast of characters in his daily life, and it's called 800 Words. And I think it is the most entertaining show. It's so easygoing, and the people it introduces you to along the way. The star's named George, and he has 2 kids, and they move to Australia under the kids' protest. And he gets there, and he bought the wrong house. He thought he was buying his childhood vacation home when his wife died, but he bought the wrong house. And in comes a cast of characters along the way, and it has 3 seasons of half a dozen, maybe a little more, almost maybe even a dozen characters that get developed. And by the 3rd show, I was hooked. And I wanted to ask you if you'd ever seen the show 800 Words. It's called 800 Words because he writes a column in Australia that's called 800 Words. And he starts to write his column, and the theme of the show each week usually covers the column he's writing because he reacts to what happens in his daily life.
No, I must say, no, I have not seen that, but I will take a look. I will take a
look at series 1, and you really need to get to the 2nd show because none of the characters are developed in the first show until he gets to New Zealand, which he at the end of the first show. He gets to New Zealand, but you must get to the 2nd show before you make your final decision. And I certainly recommend 3 shows.
Marcus, we're out of time. We've had a number of super chats today. Let's go through and thank them. We had Black Cat 997, Plonker, Black Cat 997, Yankee Doodle, Black Cat 997, John Cousy, and Yankee Doodle. Guys, that's the show for today. He's Marcus Allen Frishman, and I'm not, and you're not. That's right. The show today.
Till next week, Archie. God bless and live long and prosper.
Hi guys, it's ArchieLuxury. Guys, I want to talk to you about David SW. David SW, David SW. Guys, if you are in America, if you are looking for a Rolex watch of your dreams, in fact, if you're looking for a contemporary modern wristwatch, I strongly advise you to look at David SW. Guys, don't play the dealer games. Don't bring in chocolates or Krispy Kremes for your dealer hoping to get a Rolex at retail. It's futile. Please, guys, save your dignity. Keep some pride. Go to David SW. I would highly recommend David SW, David SW. If you're in America and you're looking for a watch, go to David SW, David SW, David SW.